Good evening and excuse me, welcome out to another week of GunPla and Chill. It is good to have you here and to present to you what's going on here as well with our Gundam that we've been working on. Been a little bit of break. Hopefully you've had a good Christmas holiday, Christmas season, holiday season in general as well. Hopefully it's not too chaotic or too stressful. And fortunately we were able to be graced with Elise from Sawano no Hiroyuki and Mizuki from the opening for All Noah Zero, which pretty cool. Also, other mecha anime to check out if you have some free time, which I know we're all kind of busy with things and stuff. So tonight we're going to be focusing on definitely the shoulders. Should be just a little quick put together here for those, especially because we have these under pieces already painted for the Psycho armor. And then we got a fair amount of the waist already kind of built, so we're going to kick off with getting some of those things established per se and get them up and running as well. So looking to make that happen for you this evening and show off any techniques or methods that we've got going on with it. So stay tuned. I know we're going to definitely be doing some sanding tonight. Ooh, super glorious and fun as well. So I did want to share something else that I had going on in a side project. I mentioned a little bit on Wednesday, in another stream, but I've actually sometimes your skills get progressively better as you do some things, and so um, myself have actually kind of gone back and revisited some of the models that I've done previously, and I just want to kind of show you the status of where this guy is at. So I've been working on a I got it kind of as a promotional gift, but I got a Exia, amazing Exia from Build Fighters, and this is the rehash of it so far. New paint job for it, redid the weapons in general, added a new weapon onto it. I love the fact that it's a Build Fighter, so that means that the weapons are kind of up to us. I added, of course, his Exia's beam sabers to it to really give that flair. So really fun progress with it so far. In general, to remake it and make this into a new sort of beast. So I got a few more things to finish up to really be done with it. Some of the stuff like the GN drive needs its touching up final details there as well as finishing up the sword and then the V fin and then the I don't even know what to call it. It's like the earpiece for Exia. So and Evo Mikey, I'm super excited for you for that. To get on your first real grade. There's such great kits. So, but this is a rebuild. So I've actually took it apart where I could and everything. Redid some of the sanding. It was very poorly done, and it's so far I'm actually much happier with it than when I did the first time around. So it is coming along quite well, and I'm excited to show up the final progress up on Discord as well. So I will definitely drop it off there. So, and thanks for letting me share. Especially because tonight is all about our Unicorn Gundam. Now this is a unique area. I've decided that I'm also going to scribe for this as well. So we're going to do just a tiny bit of scribing this evening. Um, and that's going to be mainly for like the under shoulder piece, the actual joint spot as well for it. As that is an area that needs a different type of TLC. And we'll show you what that looks like. So we got C8, Sig9, and PC7 right here. And there is definitely the ability to cut these out and do this seam line repair, but this is a great one where we can actually practice our scribing, do those small things with it to really make it stand out just a little bit more, have a more realistic detail to it as well. So it doesn't have to always just be super squared off. Now it does help out that the seam line is not straight down the middle, which that is terrible for panel lining. That one I always highly recommend doing your seam line repair for it. But when it's off to the side though, that is where you get a real chance to do some good scribing for your piece. So let's check it out. And Evo Mikey, which real grade are you working on? If you don't mind me asking, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And I love that comment there that you mentioned about how it can be difficult to put your decals on. The big thing with decals is having your points of reference. Identify your points of reference close to where the decal is going to be at, and that's really going to help you to get them lined up correctly for it. So those are the things that you definitely want to be looking for. And let me see if I got a unit that I can show that off with. Yeah, I got a unit real close here. Give me just a second to pull him down. Also, as I go searching for other pieces, I thought these pieces... Oh, I did put them on. Huh, hilarious. I was like, where are these pieces at? Yeah, I'd already attached them. Oh, Ale Strike. You know what? I got one. I got one here for you, Evo. It's Ale Strike's brother. Perfect Strike. So with the real grade, especially with your decals there, if you're using the sticker ones are good because there's just a little bit of spacing as well. But my example that I want to give you for that is right here in this ankle piece. So this ankle guard. So the sticker is literally right here up against the edge of it. So just so that the sticker is just above the edge of it. And then of course you just want to get it as centered as possible there. Letting this be your guide per se. Hey, that's the spacing I want to add. And so it really is all about the spacing. So where are you going to put that spacing at? Evo Mikey, another good thing, and I can, especially with real grades, because I know exactly what you're talking about. This head is very, very loose in the first place, though, as well. Mecha Gokatsu, Gaikotsu, excuse me, mentions another really good way as well. If you're looking to stiff up joints, especially ball joints, give a little bit of paint to them. Like paint over them, not with some acrylic paint. Just brush it on there, let it dry like a day, and then that'll stick on there and be much, much more firm. Now, granted, you're right. This is still a very, very loose head in general. But find your guide points. Here's another example right here on the boomerang shoulder pad. This sticker right here, I lined it up straight up with that edge, and then everything else is with the other edge as well. And it actually allows itself to not only, you find your edges, that's going to help it to stick, but at the same time though you allow it to then have that right appearance. So look for those guide points, look for those markers that really help to make those stick correctly though as well. So hopefully that helps you out as you go through it. If you can get your hands on a perfect strike real grade, that was a awesomely fun kit. I absolutely loved it. And I'm super excited because I have all the items to make the perfect grade. Actually, not the perfect. Excuse me, the perfect strike for the master grade as well. thanks for letting me show those off. Those are great great conversation points to drop in here. Also, I'm looking for some feedback. Let me know if the stream is a little bit glitchy. I'm getting a red square here, so I might have to drop and then start back up again. Um, it was showing me at 2 megs upload at the time, so if it's constantly buffering, I want to know, and I can amend that a little bit here. But it looks like we had a little bit of fluctuation, so. And as now we're in the green. And back in red. Alrighty. We should have all of our shoulder pieces now cut. And now we're going to do just a little bit of cleaning here. Yeah, it doesn't get too close right there. Still going to need a little bit of sanding on that nub. Thank you for those details. Alright, well, if it gets really bad, please let me know, and I will give it a good reboot, and we'll be right back on. I got time tonight, which I'm excited for. I'm excited to go to work. I've been staring at this one on my shelf and just be like, hey, I really need to get this guy done. In general, especially because we're so close, believe it or not. Oh, we are so close to being finished with this one. We have the legs left to do, and I do want to show off. I haven't showed off painting these specifically, just because the Tamiya paints are not good fumes to inhale, so I try not to do those in my normal painting area here in my normal building area. So, but I do want to show how those are painted because it's not necessarily unique, but it's definitely very different. Oh crikey, didn't cut out the PC pieces. I'm also interested to hear if you guys want to see a kit bash. I am looking to do a Blast Impulse Gundam. The thing is that Blast Impulse does, excuse me, Blast Impulse, but as a real grade specifically. Not looking to do a high grade. Ooh, I'll have to get your thoughts on that. But the Gundam Real series. But I'm looking to do a kit bash. It is an expensive kit to get the Blast Impulse high grade even, just because it's a P Bandai. So I wanted to see if you guys want to see how to combine those two kits specifically, because I want it to be real grade, but we don't have the real grade backpack, so we're gonna buy a real grade Impulse with a high grade blast, and then from a force impulse, I guess is what it's called, with a blast impulse, and make those two things happen. Especially because they made the sword real great, which is awesome, but they didn't make the blast impulse Gundam, which is to me is super sad because that's the coolest one if you ask me. But it'd be similar to my Exia Repair 4 kit that we did, except a little bit more friendly because the whole suit is already there, unlike the custom arm I had to make for what's it called? Exia Repair 4. That's a kit that we could use a proper build for though as well. I've seen that they had the Repair 3 parts. If you can get the Repair 3 parts with some Quanta parts, Quanta Full Saber, you can make that kit real nice. Another kit I'd be really dying to get my hands on is Dynamis Repair 2. If you've never seen Dynamis Repair, it is absolutely stellar. It is definitely a very cool version of Dynamis. It's in the Trailblazer movie, and it's just, man, it's so cool. Dynamis is cool by itself, and this took it to a whole nother level. So, I mean, and come on, there's very few things in the Gundam world that's better than a Gundam with an actual dedicated sniper rifle, so I'm all about that. It's probably not too late as well if you're big into the Gundam 00 kits. The final high grade for the set of 4 is coming out this month. So if you've got a chance to pre-order it, or excuse me, haven't had a chance to pre-order it, see if you can save up and get it. It is an expensive master grade, as it is. It's like some places are selling it for like 90 or 100 for the kit, but it's one of those kits. It's gonna sell super fast, just because it's been in demand for like some time. All right. Well, I will. That's not going to be my Evo. I'm so glad you dropped that in there. I will make an announcement when I do go that route, but I'm definitely looking to do that a blast impulse. So if I can get all the kits that we need in the meantime for it, I will make that happen. Then we will have a blast impulse real great kit to be had. Get some sanding done and attach some parts. I don't think I have any other kit bashes. Now, if you're wanting to see original kit bashing, that's not normally what I do. I'm looking to make kits that don't exist, but should exist, is usually my goal. If that makes any sense at all. So like the Exia Repair 4 is the one that I did. The red unicorn is what I call it. And then the green unicorn as well. Those are all kit bashes that I've done. Let's see if I've done any more. I mean, I guess technically I'm doing a kit bash for this Exia kit, because the V-fin that it came with is just utter garbage. Like, it's just so terrible. So I'm going to use I got some extra Astray headpieces that I'm going to use for it. And paint it blue, like it's supposed to be. So, and it's believe it or not, I think it's actually closer to what we see in the anime as well. So, I am all for it. Which ones are we needing? PC 7? 7. Yeah, even Mikey, I'm interested to see on a thumbs up or thumbs down rating right now. Should I go out and watch that Gundam Real series? I mean, I know you finished it, but is it really worth taking the time out to go get into it? And just to show you, and this is why we're going to scribe this one. If you can see, let me turn some exposure down. It's a little bit too white. So if you can see, like there is a crazy just seam line right here on this piece. And since I've done with so many other unicorns, I've seen it every single time. And so since it's so bad, and you can also see that there's a little bit of elevation here too, it just actually makes sense to scribe a line very similar to this on the other side. And so just looking at the spacing, like that's what we're going to do. We're going to put our guide tape like right about here. So we're going to scribe down. I've got a size bigger up from the smallest one here as well. So this is the 0.4 millimeters. And that's going to allow for a good separation and allow for those two pieces to be merged together with a proper seam slash panel line at the same time. However, though, I am going to go back and actually do one more scribe here, though, as well. That's actually going to go across. So I'm going to use the guide tape once again, just using this line here from the bottom, this angle, to just put the tape across. So it's going to connect the two panel lines to make it overall look like a fully adjacent, like mechanical panel at that point to make two separations. So it's actually a very similar thing that's seen in a lot of the Grandpa Gundams as well. So that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to do two scribes to make this, well, excuse me, three scribes because we got to do actually the actual seam line itself needs some scribing. Which means that I'm going to cut out minimum of two pieces. Our 3 millimeters might be enough to get in between both of them just right. Evo Mikey, thank you for the feedback there, and I will give it a shot, literally based upon you, as I trust your opinions as well. Your devotion to what we're doing here in Gundam in general has been most invigorating. Alright, so we're going to definitely need two pieces here. It's a little bit too long. Or too wide. I do see a little bit of extra plastic. I think I need to sand down here just a little bit more. Oh, it looks like there's actually a built-in like plastic dot. You see that, or there's got to be some, what's it called, deformity in the actual plastic here. So we're going to cut it down just a little bit. If you can see right there, there's a little circle that's stopping it from going smooth. And there's another one right here too. actually super curious as to why that is, because that doesn't seem normal. It seemed like it was a deformity. It slightly exists on the other side too, but not nearly as, it's in a different spot. So this should actually sit closer together. And it does. Look how much closer that sits together now. Our line is actually almost gone, but we're still going to need to scribe in a little bit. So, got my guide tape there. Pressing it down nice and firmly. And once again, it's not about pressure. It's about accuracy and then just running it across. There it is. Got our first panel line. So we definitely need to send down the rest of that, but we're in a good start. I'm actually going to cut this one in half. Made it longer just in case, so I can do the across piece. So this is where it gets a little bit hard, and that is because we have to try to line it up the exact same on the other side. And we don't have our guide points, and it's literally, oh man, it's just like a, it's so different. It's just so slightly off from each other. It's almost maddening that you have to put a second piece of tape down here to get that proper spot. But there it is. This side actually may be a little bit more narrow than the other one. And that sometimes happens when doing the scribing. Or maybe it just, oh, you know, it looks like that just because of the tape. Yeah, it's pretty close to even. I don't think it's 100% perfect, but it's close enough. So now that I get the lines there, I'm just going in there and just deepening it just a little bit more. Alright, now for our last one, going across the top piece to make this just a slight separation in panels. But I'm going with my the thinnest blade, 0.2. It's crazy to think sometimes that that's how thin these bad boys, these lines are. It's like they're 0.2 millimeters. But yet the difference between 0.2 and 0.4 is so vast when it comes down to these panel lines. And you can see this is where it's actually, I might actually go a little bit higher. I didn't think my tape would be. So this tape is 3 millimeters. And so I think it's almost 3 millimeters. Actually, 6 millimeters. You actually may want to measure it. What to do, what to do. There is another option. And here's what I'm going to do for my other option. I'm going to take the tape, line it up here with the top, not press it down too hard, and then flatten it. That way I have my straight line. And yeah, I like that. And that gives me where I want a panel line. I didn't like it halfway. I wanted it just a little bit above halfway, which is where we're at. And let's see. Let's check it out. Another tough to see because it's white on white, but there's our panel lines. Or at least our new ones. And that's why I kind of took some time here to kind of show the whole shoulder being done here, because I knew that these scribing points were going to take a little bit of time. So thanks for your patience for stuff. Hopefully that helps you with your builds as well with these, for me, particularly annoying seams is what I consider them. Because they are particularly annoying if you ask me. Because like we want the shoulders to look nice and smooth, but we just don't get the stuff for it. Sometimes. But now I see that my sanding tool is kind of missing. Because for this, we definitely need a flat edge sander. If not, it is going to be a mess. A mess, a mess, a mess. It's going to get way too rounded on its own. Which is funny because I have all the sandpaper right here for it, but like every single piece of it. Alright, in the meantime, got some of this to take care of. You know, this should... I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it just so we can make sure that we see it all tonight. I want to show you the final arm, and I do want to get these arms done, specifically these shoulders. Because they look great once they're done. And remember, you always want to start with the lowest number of your grits first, as long as it's not too, how to say, scratchy, too coarse. If it's too coarse, go the next one up. How do you know if it's too coarse? It's leaving like some really deep scratches inside of it, without you applying very much pressure. Alright, so that's why this is a 120 from this God Hand. It's very, very coarse. I particularly try to avoid using it, just because it's, once again, at least some scratches. So if I do use this one, I'm going super, super light, like with the touch. Just barely to scratch the surface. But we have that nub right there that we really want to get rid of. The straight blade didn't get it. There's also like a mold line there too on the other piece, so it needs a lot of sanding. So that's why I'm going with this 120 at first. But once again, being very, very careful to not go crazy. Especially because now that we got some scribe lines, we don't want to get rid of those either. And yes, you can just sand those right away. But now you can actually see kind of the scribe lines a lot better here. And they did come out really good. They are practically even. It is actually super great. Came out super solid. I am thoroughly happy with it. So let's put it all together. That's a great idea there, Evo Mikey, as well. Oh, okay, okay. Thanks for building with me then tonight, for finishing up Strike and everything. I'm excited to see your sticker work. I do want to do, that's, Strike is actually one of the dioramas I want to do. But I want to have the Aegis Gundam high grade, because they don't make a what is it called, a real grade version of that, but have it like latched onto the Strike. Because I sadly, what happened is for my perfect strike, the arm was having some issues and the hand was having some issues as well. I'm holding the his launcher bazooka, and that being the case, I had to buy an AL strike to fix it to get the extra parts. So I bought the parts, fixed it up, and so now I literally have an AL strike, but it's got a really bad left arm, which in the show, that's the one that's cut off. And hopefully I didn't spoil that. Hopefully you've seen that series, but if not, I'm super sorry. But I guess, you know, hey, Gundams lose parts all the time, right? At least in the shows. But anyway, I want to recreate that screen in a diorama. Just a small scale one. So many projects to do, so little time. Actually, I have to go back and look and see how many I built this year alone. Was it, I think last year I built 21 kits in general. So I was really busting them out. I even got the proud mama look from my wife. He's like, well done for putting out that many kits for the year. I'm just curious if I met that number this year, or was I really short? But I know if I'm looking at it, 1, 2. This is my 3rd unicorn kit this year to finish up fully. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we're getting close. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh goodness, I might actually have outdone myself this year. I counted 20 right now, so this is not including this one, and then the V8 as well. So we might end up the year with 22, maybe. I mean, does the rebuilds count? Like, I don't know. Oh, the box art. So, hold on. Evo Mikey, just to make sure we're on the same page here. Nightingale, like the big mobile armor version, or are you thinking of Sasasbi? Oh no, you said High New. Oh my bad. Yeah, Nightingale. Never mind. I had a moment of stupidity. Please forgive me. With that extra panel lining, it looks so clean. And we got a boom. And by boom, that is now a full right arm completed. Full right arm completed. We actually just need it now, of course, panel line. Let's see how that bad boy looks together. Oh, yes sir. Yes sir. Came out solid. I'm really enjoying this color scheme. Like, I'm glad with the things that I've done versus just sticking with the original blue. I did actually receive in, and I'll post up my pictures because I actually just received some kits in, and I'm excited because I should have another shipment coming in this week. I got the Battle Breaker Gundams coming in, the 5 that I wanted from it. But yeah, so I got those coming in, and then of course I got a really good haul in from Japan. An expensive haul, but and if I'm lucky, if I'm really lucky, I'll get another haul in this week from Japan. Oh, which also brings me a what is it? There is on Kurama Toys a master grade that just came out. It's a premium Bandai, but it is the red frame not red frame, excuse me. Estrella F-Type from Gundam 00 and the Avalanche launcher set. It is a phenomenal pickup if you can get it. Um, it's a fully red like Exia style Gundam, but it's got all the master grade touches and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I think the whole thing is like just over 100 for both the model kit and then the Avalanche parts as well. But I mean, they're both awesome, and so the fact that it has those things, I would look for getting it if you can. If you can, I know I'm asking a lot because it's you're dropping $100 right now, but if you can grab that one, it'll be awesome on your shelf. I mean, even right now, the high grade just like stands out like amazingly. But as soon as I saw that, I know I wasn't planning on buying any more because I have like all the ones that I wanted. But when I saw that as a master grade, I had to go grab it. I had to go get it. But in all honesty, my big secret for even purchasing some of them, I use PayPal credit. 0% financing for anything over 100. I just make those orders close to 100 each time and only do it once a month. It really works out quite well. Pay them off over time appropriately, and it really helps your credit score. So I'm not here to give financial advice, but that's one thing that can really help out. Who would have thought that Gundams could help your credit score to get to 750? Well, they can. Evo Mikey, which thing's been sold out? The the Estrella F-Type? If that's, I mean, because I just saw it get posted, but that's on Kurama Toys. That this is the one that I go to for getting stuff from Japan specifically. But yeah, it's at that 6 months phase, so it's right there. It just got posted. Wow, no, you're right. You even in Kurama, it's out of stock. Wow, that was fast. That was super fast. Dude, I'm actually super sorry to hear that. Yeah, that was my place that I get it from. I guess people thought the exact same thing as me. No, you're not looking. I mean, this is the. I mean, I just posted it, so you can let me know if it's the wrong one or not. After that.